recording has started, so go nuts.
Right. This is chapter 4. It's actually pretty long. Really took the life from me. Quite plotty, if that makes sense. Anywho's, without any further delay, here it is. Chapter 4. Author's note. OMG. Fedwukak plots is all I'm axing. Thanks going to Kiki. She's inspiration to me. Love you all. Please read. The mess of the cafeteria had finally been cleared up, and the bell rang for the next set of classes. Nathan grabbed his bag and followed Harlan, though they quickly realized they shared no classes together bar robotics. Robotics. Holy shit. Harlan seemed particularly disappointed over this, as in the brief hour he had known Nathan, he'd become quite attached and sighed. He ruffled his dark, greasy pompadour, missing it slightly before coming back in place with his signature silver comb. Nathan sighed too, and patted his best friend on the shoulder. They shared a deep, meaningful look, and their eyes filled with and their eyes filled with manly tears.
Why are they crying?
It's manly tears, Nathan. Let it happen. Harlan looked away, overcome by super ultra manly emotion. They had bonded now and were forever best friends, so whenever something happens to Nene, Harlan will be there for him. Because they are bros and love each other. Hashtag no homo, hashtag all the homo.
Don't giggle like that. Don't fucking giggle like that.
All the homo.
The rest of his day passed uneventfully. But if by uneventfully you mean they went as though they'd been sucked into a hellish abyss, it turned out Aya was in all of his classes. Main girl. The fact that terrified him, but brought much enjoyment to her. In enchantments and hexing, he created a small doll that danced. She created a voodoo doll of him. His balls still hadn't recovered, and he was haunted by the evil smirk she gave him as she plunged the first needle into his doll's hand hood. He shivered, just recalling it, causing his stones to ache as excitement was new to them. At least he felt he got some revenge during the divinity class, where her bright pink hair turned a wonderful color of orange. Fuck you, Nathan. By which he means it set on fire. Bitch, seems whatever god he was praying to was real. He was thankful for the brief respite it gave him. By the time that lessons were over, Nathan was thoroughly exhausted and fell into a deep sleep, almost the moment his body hit the bed. Hey, wake up, Baka! Aya shook him until his emerald eyes opened.
Why is Aya now waking him up?
Happy to see him. She smiled, and not in an evil way. This is so out of character.
What?
He realized how pretty... He realized how pretty she looked, with her flawless skin and pink pout. Her red demon eyes didn't look so scary when she smiled either, and he found himself uncontrollably smiling back. She was lying on top of him, wearing very... What? What is Kirby? You're grounded. Wearing very little. Must be her...
I know it's just a dream, but I still find it funny.
I know, right? Must be her pajayjays, he mused, staring at
pajayjays?
Staring at her little frilly shorts and cami. Her hair was no longer in pigtails, and half of it cascaded down her back, and the other half on his bare chest. This was the first time he realized he was shirtless. His cheeks flushed red in embarrassment. He tried to cover himself up. She only giggled again. You're so kawaii. And she put her hand on his hairless chest to keep him from covering up. Don't. she whispered seductively as she
That
lowered
was
her
not
lips
seductively whatsoever.
as she lowered her lips to meet his. That's not very friendly. Keep him to yourself, 'cause she's Southern, member. What? Who's talking here? This is Corin.
Why, howdy doodly there.
Okay, yeah, because I need to do the right voice. Oh, that's not very friendly. Keeping them all to yourself. Southern, remember. Came a voice from the corner. But this was not the corner of his room, he realized. He was on a red, velvety, heart-shaped bed in a room with nothing else in it. Must be magic, he grunted. But if it was, he wasn't about to complain. He turned his face away from Aya to look at the voice. He already knew who it was without seeing her. It was Corin. Her cowboy hat was missing and her plaids were undone, showing her curly golden locks. She grinned at him.
Her hat off? It's part of
Because
her
it's
head.
a dream. It's a fantasy.
He was sure she was also wearing her pajamas, but she wore so little anyway, it was hard to tell. Her breasts were obviously falling out, however. His nose bled slightly, and he rolled back his eyes. She walked over to him and sat on the side of the bed, placing her hand in between his thighs. Oh my. He tried to close them shut as a reflex. What is this? Chapter 4, Nathan gets sexually harassed. Oh, now, don't be shy. She giggled and threw him back her trademark giant grin. He grimaced uncomfortably, but uncomforting his back, but let it happen. I love you, Kirby. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Hashtag never change.
Hashtag just let it happen. He was a teenage boy, a male virgin. Only a fool would turn his opportunity down. But before he could get comfortable, a choir began to sing.
Oh no.
He was wondering when she'd show up. You're the only mortal who can tame my loins.
Is this Kim?
No, it's Kirby.
You're the only mortal who can tame my loins, giggled Kirby, as she descended from the stairs on the other side of the room, seemingly bringing angel feathers down with her. Her night clothes were more adult than the others, and more fitting to a sex shop than a high schooler. God, she looked beautiful in her light pink lingerie, a strappy corset with light white stockings and fluffy high-heeled slippers. She had a dressing gown, but hardly covered much as it was practically seaside with a pink, fluffy color. His grin spread across his face as his eyes rolled back again as she took her place on the opposite side of the bed to Corin. She lowered her tongue onto Nathan's hairy nipple and began to lick it. Haha, this is ever boy's dream. Sticky tongue out. He groaned,
Kirby,
lost
I love
in the
you, but fuck you.
Lost in the moment and closed his eyes. When he opened them, he found the girls had disappeared. He sat up in shock and looked around. A deep laugh echoed across the room, and he couldn't distinguish the location until he saw a shape crawl out of the floor of the bed. He tried to scream, but no sounds could come out. Then he tried to move, but was paralyzed. His fantasy had turned into a horror as the creature crawled further up. He
It's
began to
Iris.
see it clearly.
It's Iris.
Its bluish gray skin, its long and wavy dark purple hair, and its eyes. Oh, its eyes were terrifying.
I have no idea
The
what
eyeball
this is.
being entirely black, with the iris showing but a hint of violet. He gulped. It seems he was capable of it. The figure smiled at him, revealing sharp animalistic teeth. and it like
Is this Cam?
its thick dark lips with a forked tongue. It sat on its chest and
Is she a
revealed
fucking
its body.
demon?
It was She's a fucking succubus, dude.
Oh!
It was feminine.
I did not get that
very
whatsoever.
Feminine, with giant breasts held up by only 2 white strips. The rest of her body was only covered for PG-13. PG-13 reasons. She's basically really sexy gogus. You called? She finally spoke, her voice like salted caramel. I did? He spat out quickly, his body shaking in fear and arousal. You ate the Alfredo, right? She questioned, peering into his eyes as he felt almost hypnotized and unable to resist. He thought back to lunch. I did, didn't I? He laughed nervously. She laughed too, though it was more of an actual cackle. Well, that's all it takes to summon me. She leaned closer to him so that her face was over his.
Sign me the fuck up.
I am, after all, the demon Alfredo queen. He gulped again, unable to respond. Closed his eyes tightly and prayed it was a dream, but when he opened them, she was still there. I can make all your dreams come true. It doesn't cost much, just your soul. Oh my god!
Why was that the Jersey accent?
She smiled.
It don't cost much.
Oh my god! She smiled seductively at him.
Just your soul.
Just your soul. Jesus!
Hey, that's just soul. That's
Kirby, just, holy shit. What a grand entrance for Cam. I love this.
Am I doing good? Did I do good?
Yeah. Nathan would admit to himself later that he paused a little. It was a tempting offer. The dream had been a good dream.
Is it?
He rather liked having a soul. At least he thought he did. In actual fact, he wasn't too sure what it did, but based on the stories he was told growing up, giving away one's soul was a very, very bad idea. He probably watched an anime or 2 about it.
Oh my god.
He's such a nerd, lol. A neat, lol.
I'm a shut it now, Kirby, huh?
He said, still unsure of his resolution. No! She squealed, her voice cracking and changing in shifts. Her smooth voice became raspy and demonic as she dug her talons into Nathan, who screamed in horror. What do you mean, no? She began shifting, as though this one plan of existence was too much to contain her.
One plan.
I mean, no! He screamed, now sure his decision was the right one, and mustered up the strength to throw her off him. She screamed a shrill harpy cry and stared at him in anger, her body morphing into something hideous. Eyes began to open along her chest and her mouth broke.
What the fuck?
to become feral.
I worked really hard on this.
She ain't no succubus. She's a fucking like Cthulhu monster.
Why not both?
She's lacking in tentacles.
She's a Thousand Eyes Restrict from Yu-Gi-Oh!
She screamed one last time, but her leathery wings burst out and carried her away. I'll make you regret that, boy! She
That's
shrieked
right.
before
Yeah,
flying off
yeah.
and disappearing into a puff of smoke. He sighed, but his nightmare was not yet over. He found himself in school again, a distorted classroom he couldn't remember, with that terrifying transvestite teacher again. I hear you've been a bad boy. They purred in their thick Russian accent as they cracked the whip. Whoosh. He felt cold sweat drip off him. Now we have to sacrifice a virgin.
Oh, fuck. Not again.
He gulped and looked around him. Aya, Corin, and Kirby were all around him, laughing menacingly at his torment. Iris sauntered up to him, now a giant, her whip being replaced with a spiky baton. Bend over.
Bend over. Bend over.
Is this a new meme? Is this a new Mind Brand meme?
Yeah,
Yes.
my bend over. I'm laughing as much as the Alfredo sauce conversation.
Bend over.
Bend over.
Oh my God. She spat, brandishing her weapon in front of her. Nathan screamed and ran away through the distorted corridors. The laughter continued till he blinked again and found himself in a big cooking pot being stirred with carrots and onion. He tried to swim, but the tide was too much and tried to drown him.
What the fuck?
He was unable to speak and just kept gargling salty water. Yum, yum, yum! He heard Akara Senpai speak all Asian-like and licking his lips. Max atching from dogs and cats, lols. He caught Nathan with a spoon and brought him to his mouth. Open-a-doo, wide-a-doo! He cheered. He emptied the contents of the
What the
spoon
fuck?
Nathan screamed. He woke up screaming, covered in cold sweat, to Harlan peering far too closely at his face as though they were about to kiss. In fact, Harlan looked like he was salivating. Oh God, screamed Nathan inwardly. He hoped that was saliva dripping from his chin. Chapter Finn. Author's note. I hoped you licked it. Please follow
I did not lick
me. It would Macmode. Mom and dad are fighting a lot, and this is all that distracts me. The end.
Bend over.
Bend over.
Iris, please say that. Please get on voice chat, just say it. I beg you. Open a wider view.
So guys, what did you think?
Fuck you.
Oh my God, that was glorious. Holy shit.
Bend over.
Bend over.
Dude.
You all are
Wow,
trash.
that was that was glorious. Holy shit.
Open a wider view.
Wow, Kirby. That was amazing. Good job.
Oh, I was worried I'd rushed it, or that it wasn't funny. I always worry that it won't be funny, but I thought make it weirdly sexual and have Nathan be abused, and boom, recipe for success.
You're a fucking sadist.
I love this so
I keep
much.
telling you I'm a sadist, and you just don't believe me.
You're a fucking demon.
She's great. I love her so much. Oh god.
So, what did you think of Cam's character?
Dude, it was awesome. It's a succubus demon thing. It's great. Fanfiction. Oh well.
And I tried to write it good in a way. You know, with like descriptive language.
Yeah, it was very like, yeah, this is definitely like some weird ass erotic
It
dream.
felt
And then it
felt
went
like
fucking back. Then it was like, yeah, by the way, this is still fucking shitty fan fiction. Open wide, bitch. Bend over. We're going in dry.
bend over.
Oh, I should have had bend over. We're going in dry.
It's okay. You can use that later. This was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was so good. Wow. It was really good. I loved it.
Oh, I'm giggling.
I am speechless. I'm just gonna stop the recording now. 22 minutes of garbage.